if he doesn't have the mental competency to be able to do that, and they're being signed by other people, and Joe Biden goes, I guess so, then you're right. There's some real questions, not just merely about the pardons. He signed bills yesterday. Are those bills legal?
I just have to ask when the accountability is going to come for every single person who sat in front of a television, who held some position of responsibility and lied their rear end off about what they were seeing behind closed doors. People came on television and said, oh, I'm with him all day and he's really engaged and he's doing the job and he's running circles around us and these videos are cheap fakes, and on and on and on. Brazen lying by people who work for our government, and they lied to us about it. You go to work for the government and you stand up at the podium like Karine has done and knowingly and fully lie to the American people because you know full well what you see behind the scenes and what you're saying in front of the podium.
And now the continuing constitutional crisis of having a man known to be mentally incapable allegedly signing these clemencies and executive orders for that matter. Now, first off,
but the question that you raised regarding the illegality of these pardons. Now, the president doesn't have to physically sign the pardons. All he has to do is basically demonstrate a positive intention to sign. And if he does that, then the autopen can actually do the signing. But if he doesn't have the mental competency to be able to do that, and they're being signed by other people, and Joe Biden goes, I guess so, then you're right. There's some real questions, not just merely about the pardons. He signed bills yesterday. Are those bills legal?
Of who really is responsible for this and whether there are some serious crimes that need to be prosecuted. Now, Jim, clearly I touched a nerve this week with this ex-post where I warned anyone other than Joe Biden in the White House or in whatever group they might be that if they are the ones really making these clemency and executive order decisions, that they will face prosecution in the coming months from the likes of Kash Patel and Pam Bondi.
This story really broke out when Special Counsel Robert Hur said, I'm not going to indict this guy because he would present to a jury as a well-meaning guy, old guy who doesn't know what's going on or something to that effect. That was the time when it really, all the reporting really should have broken through. Remember, this was the time where Joe Scarborough went on MSNBC and said, this Biden is the best ever, you know. And so, yeah, obviously there was so much enormous pushback on this narrative. And we should all look at it now and say, shame on the entire press for not getting at this story sooner. And yes, what the Wall Street Journal story told us was they were doing this in 2021. We've had the entire presidency where they tried to hide all of this from the American people. It is a massive scandal.